I'm not going to bore everyone by reading the wiki on Guy Gardner, Green Lantern Man. Yes, Green Lantern. Once again, it's time for some more Green Lantern. Sure, we'll talk a little bit about Guy Gardner, the first backup Green Lantern to Hal Jordan, and what began a long line of many Earthbound lanterns. But, I mean, seriously, this stuff was convoluted in the first place. I read it in the first place, and I just kind of don't want to live it again. What do you think? No? I don't know. We're going to have to touch this. Ah! That's right. Pikachu O'Sullivan of Sector 2184, Earth. You have the ability to instill great fear into people. You have been selected to be part of the Sinestro Corps. We're fighting. Welcome back. Once again, it is time for the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days. Pika, what? Read the show notes? What? Don't zap me with that power ring. Ah, welcome back. What would Bob Ross do? Well, we don't make mistakes, only happy accidents. We're here at our comics coffee table. That's right, you know. Pull up a chair, grab a cuppa, whatever it is you're shoving under your nose today there, pal. We are rebagging, reboarding, reboxing my entire comic book collection. It's an accumulation of near 20 years worth of magazines, floppies, periodicals, comic books. And they all need new boxes. They need bags. They all need boards. And if I had boards in the first place, let me tell you, most of these would have kept a pristine, grading and been worth probably a lot more than what they are right now. But that's live and learn, kid. And I read these things, man. I don't put them in the slabs. I don't hang them on you can put them in the slabs and hang them on the walls. They're actually pretty nice decorations, if you ask me. It's just that's, I think, out of my price point. I got enough stuff in the background. Gee. That's a good cuppa. Thank you so very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please think about subscribing. Click that button. Turn on those notifications. Ring that bell. Smash that like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. Continue this comic book shop style conversation. We premiere daily, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we take a few minutes out of our busy day. We take a break together. We pull up a chair to our very own comics coffee table, and we just gab. We talk about comic books. We appreciate floppies. Comic books. It's I've got boxes of them and boxes of them and boxes of them. And we like looking at the ads. It brings us back. These are I prefer these floppies over the trade paperback, the collection, one could say. I mean, I like the feel of them. I like how they hold in your hand. I like the weight of them. Yeah, I like the feel of the pages. I mean, there's a different binding on a collection. There's a different paper quality, a different paper stock on a collection usually as well. And the older the comic book, the less quality of paper there is. I mean, newsprint paper, they started doing this transition to better papers in the 80s. And now, well, because there's a thing about it that, newspaper wasn't archival level of good. It's very susceptible to the ravages of time. Not like you, Pika. You're eternal. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so very much. And yeah, I'm blessed to be part of the conversation that happens daily, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern on the premiere. the live chat premieres as well. And there's always a great conversation going on there. So please be part of it. We see new people every day now. We've got a lot of new subscribers. So don't be afraid. Make your voice heard. Let us know what you're reading, what you like, what you don't like. We're a positive, geeky, chill stream. Unabashedly. Listen, I love my outrage channels. I've got their t-shirts. I get into trouble with the white hats for being adjacent to H8 groups for liking the wrong comic books. Oh no, comics are booming. Yeah, I mean, I want to read all the comics out there. I don't want to, I mean, gee, I mean, yeah, gosh, modernity, huh? Jeez. Thank you so very much. Awesome. Let's get to it. Let's not waste any time. Let's see. A lot of the show has to do with, yeah, like I said, reboxing, reboarding, rebagging my collection. So I'm taking the opportunity. I'm not just, hey, I came off of a hiatus of several years. Now I'm back to buying comics weekly every Wednesday at my comic book shop. Wednesday is traditionally new release day, and it gives you something to look forward to in the middle of the week. Some people say, "Ah, darn this hump day." If you have the Monday through Friday 9 to 5 grind in a way, a lot of us don't have that anymore. I mean, but well, I have a Monday through Friday job, so I have a hump day, and it's Wednesday, and I share that with a lot of different people. So I make the best of it. Instead of humping this day, instead of letting this day hump me, I get on top of that and I say, "Who's your daddy?" Did I just say that? No, I didn't. Pika writes this down. I don't say anything that Pika doesn't write down. He makes the show notes. He's the executive producer. I'm just the talent. Okay? Pre-recorded live before a studio audience of my stuffed animals. You know, there's Canadian Bear. He's the studio audience. This is Drinka. He's the cameraman and microphone boom mic operator. Union. You know, he's on his union break. Don't even look at him. Don't talk to him. He's on his break. Let him. You know, geez, he's a busy stuffed animal. And this is Pika. He's the executive producer. And yeah, I copious amounts of show notes. I have to read all of this and decipher the mind that makes such penmanship. Oh gosh, darn it. So yeah, I need supplies, and probably you do too. Where do you get your supplies? I get my supplies from the local comic book shop. Yes, I'm agreeing to pay the markup, the retail markup, but it's important to me to shop locally, to think globally, act locally. And you know what? I'm eschewing the big box stores. I'm not getting my my supplies online where I can get free shipping and probably a nice price break too. But you know what? I'm into my community. I'm into my culture. I'm into my neighborhood in my village square. And I want to see these local businesses thrive, succeed, and be there long after I'm gone. So, yeah, I spend my money at the local comic book shop. I'm getting boards. I mean, boxes. I'm getting bags. And I'm getting acid-free boards. And I thought it would make great content that we could just go down memory lane looking at comic books. Rebagging, reboarding, reboxing. Spending time. Geeking out. Whoop, excuse me. Wow! And there's a lot going on in DC Comics about this time. Right around this time. We are about to get into a mini event that was impressive, and it was it had my full attention and my wallet. And I'm today's years old when I found out that I've literally missed one issue, one tie-in issue of a non-related series by reading the wiki. It's right. This is the Sinestro Corps War. I'm going to read this from the wiki. You guessed it, the wiki! Wiki, ATST, Rich Evans never says weeky like I do. I just like to celebrate his energy. I love Rich Evans. He's the best. Red Letter Media, check it out. I love you. My YouTube Mount Rushmore. It's Mr. Plinkett. Sinestro Corps War is an American comic book crossover event published by DC Comics in Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps titles. It also had a slew of one-shot tie-ins as well. They'll do that to you. You know, they'll have the core event that will, you know, you have the tie-ins and like line-wide tie-ins, and then you have one-shots. So really milking the cow, you know, here, yeah. Well, that's yeah. I still have a leather wallet. Yeah. There you go. Written by Jeff Johns and Dave Gibbons, and drawn by Ivan Rice, Patrick Gleason, and Ethan Van Sciver. Yeah, I said that. You don't like them? Don't read them. Don't watch them. There you go. Problem solved. The 11-part saga was originally published between June and December of 2007, 14 years ago. Going on, wow, this is almost 15 years old. Wow. In addition to the main storyline, 4 supplemental Tales of the Sinestro Corps one-shot specials, and this is the one I don't have, a Blue Beetle tie-in issue were concurrently released, and that's, I think, Blue Beetle issue number 21, 20 or 21, and it's just a Sinestro Corps ring finds Jaime Reyes. And the Blue Beetle Scarab doesn't like Green Lanterns to begin with because it's alien and has a history. Exactly. The story centers on the Green Lanterns of Earth: Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, John Stewart, and Guy Gardner. Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of, you know, modernity there. I mean, you know, where's Jessica Cruz? Where's Jojo Mullen? They haven't been invented yet. Or Simon Baz. They come, you know, Simon Baz comes in later. And then after that, Jessica Cruz. And then after that, Jojo Mullen. We'll get to that, too, because we're going to... Hey, I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. I love Green Lantern. And guess what? There's so much I haven't read. So much I've skipped. I've, like, you know, I've waxed and waned from these... It's like an orbit. Like I'm a comet. And sometimes I come very close, and then I pick up speed, and then I just go do my thing, and orbit, and I come back. There you go. That's just celestial mechanics. And the rest of the Green Lantern Corps as they fight an interstellar war against the Sinestro Corps, an army led by the former Green Lantern Sinestro, who are armed with yellow power rings and seek a universe ruled through fear. Remember, Grand Moff Tarkin said that fear will keep the local systems in order, in line. Fear of this battle station. You kind of also have to know your DC Comics. Jeff Johns is really good with DC lore and knowing his DC Comics so well that that's what makes him one of the best when it comes to writing modern DC comic books, because his stuff usually fits narratively, tonally, story-wise, character voices, Easter eggs. It usually fits very well with all of your back issues and all of your previous stories. Jeff Johns, for some strange reason, finds new stories to plumb, new characters to create, new events to unfold, and entertain people with these you know, decades-old IPs. While, all along, respecting his lore. Oh my goodness, who do we got here? We're going to look at some Indicia Colophone. We're going to look at some advertisements. It's Vin Carter. Remember Vin Carter? What we do is we take an old bag, and this one's not that bad. I'm going to keep this bag. I only replace the bags now if they're really shoddy, if you can really feel it. But I'm getting a better handle on how to grade comics. I'm using the Overstreet guide, and you can find a link to this in the description. But you'd be better off asking your local comic book shop if they have this in stock. $25, well spent. Seriously, this will get your head around the 10-point grading system and what to look for, and especially make you a better shopper of back issues. That's something I have to like really own. But yeah, here's an issue of Green Lantern Man. Green Lantern Man. It was $2.99. Come on, you. Snap into it. I'm getting into like how to decipher this the UPC symbol here. I know this much here, that it's a totally unique, you know, international standard. So don't believe people when they say there's no such things as standards or recognized standards, and that you know, then you can just bring up something like, hey, what about UPC? Because this can be scanned anywhere and can get some, you know, and you get the same information, and it's organized, categorized, blah blah woof woof. Someone that owns a comic book shop can explain it to me better. But comic books are unique with their UPC symbol, that they have this extra bit of coding right here. So see, this is okay, issue 19. You see that? And we see a ding right there. We see some spy and roll, of course. This is an O'Sullivan magazine. 019. It's going to be able to report the first 3 issue number digits of that magazine. The next single digit there is its variant cover, and the next single digit there is its printing edition. So this is issue number 19. It's cover A, cover number 1, and this is a first printing. I get that all from looking at that UPC code that you'll find on every single one of your funny books. Seriously, yeah, and it's just specifically for comic books. It's unique. It's this 5 numbers here. I wonder how that goes for something like Action Comics, which is over 1,000. I'll have to look at my Action Comics and figure it out. But we have some really great art in here. Oh, look at this Spider-Man 2.1. Before you see Spider-Man 3, read Spider-Man 2.1, the extended edition with never before scenes. Yeah, more morose Pete not quipping when he's thwipping. You get what I mean? You know, Spider-Man 2 is my least favorite of the Raimi Spider-Man movies, only because he should have been making a joke with every swing at Doc Ock. That's Peter, and that's what Tom Holland actually does too. And I like Spider-Man 3 better. I'm weird. This is Daniel Acuna art. This is great. Mystery of the Star Sapphires Part 2. So we're starting to get more rings. Now Jeff Johns is starting to open up the mythos, the lore of Green Lantern. Now he's going all the way back to a 1986 Alan Moore Tales of the Green Lantern Corps title that's about the end, the prophesied end of the Green Lanterns and the planet Ysamalt and the denizens of Ys, and they're all, it's like a prison planet for the most horrendously, satanically, bestial, evil, rage-filled creatures. The next phase of our tale will begin there, but we have to recognize that Jeff Johns starts talking about and bringing in elements of Alan Moore's Copper Age masterpiece, Tales of the Green Lantern Corps. Yeah. And this Daniel Acuna art is just amazing. Daniel Acuna did the pencils, the inks, and the coloring. And like I said, we keep an eye on the colorists in this magazine going forward, because it's where the power on the page is at. This is about light, and it's about color, and this is about vibrancy. And we got some great artists on this book. This is great panel placement as well. That's the Book of Oa. That's the big book of laws and things, and it actually gets a little rewritten too. While we get, that's part of the plot points is we have the Book of Oa, and then the bald female identifying guardian here along the way gets seduced by the dark side of the light. Yeah, she gets, it's coming up. We're gonna show it. You know what I mean? Today and tomorrow we'll be going over Sinestro Corps War, because it's huge. So it's about 14 issues, 60, 15, 16 issues. To our Indicia colophone. To our Indicia. This is Green Lantern number 19, June of 2007. And again, no volume number. So like I'm just picking up on that recently, you know, but it's been going on for 15 years or more. There's no volume number. So what's the, you know? Let's see. Jack Kirby's Fourth World Omnibus Volume 1. I got the big one. I'd show it to you, but it weighs 10 pounds. And it's actually, it's where Drinker sets up his camera, is on top of the omnibus, because it's a nice big book and it's stable and it works. You go with what you know. And look, there's a split ad. Now, I mentioned the other day too, like, you know, about split ads, and how I mistook one for a split ad, and it was actually a gag. But here's our split ad here. So, what is a Star Sapphire? A Star Sapphire came about in the Silver Age. Star Sapphire was also part of the Secret Society of Supervillains, which was a great Bronze Age title, and the first Star Sapphire ended up took control of Carol Ferris, Green Lantern's love, and so they've had this on again, off again relationship, but then she's also had an on again, off again association with Star Sapphire, putting on this, you know, violet bikini and having like laser powers. And so his current girlfriend, Cowgirl, and is you know, gets infected by Star Sapphire. Look at these beautiful women drawn. Oh, great art. And hey, look, he knows how to draw horses. I mean, you know how hard it is for artists to draw horses and feet? That's great. And look, before we made a big deal about modernity, here we have the alpha male hero sharing his power. Yeah, I mean, it's always been part of it, you know. These are just great colors. And then at the end of this, we have a backup feature. Tales of the Sinestro Corps. And this is about the Book of Sinestro. And these are about, and we're going to be slowly introducing the members of the Sinestro Corps. What is the Sinestro Corps? Well, the ability to duplicate. There was only one yellow power ring on Sinestro, but now with this, we're fleshing this out. We're opening up everything, and so the yellow power ring gets created, and now there is a yellow ring core. Green for willpower, yellow for fear, and violet, Star Sapphire, for love. And look, we're going to look at the ads too. Countdown is happening. It's about to happen. Countdown is about to happen. Countdown is is it one of those event-wide crossovers? Oh, just beautiful. I love Cowgirl. Jillian Perlman, that's her name. And she's a pilot. And they got shot down together. And her and Cal, of course, you know, I always thought it would be a really good plot point for Hal to have knocked up Jillian. And then, like, have him grounded. Have him be grounded. That, like, you know, hey, like, oh, wow. So, like, maybe one of my flings had a consequence. You know? And, this is great stuff. Oh, yeah. Look at these ads. This is great. Yeah, Piper and Trickster being handcuffed. This is like, that's like based on an old movie as well. We've seen that in so many forums. You're handcuffed to somebody, and then, but then Trickster gets killed, so Piper's got to carry around a dead guy. Carry around dead weight. So yeah, your bag, I'm doubling them up. I think this bag is fine. They say to change your bags every 3 to 5 years. This bag is about 13, 14 years old. So, okay. Is it a Mylar? No, I don't think so. How can I tell? I don't know. I haven't experienced Mylars yet. We're going to have to pick them up. And we will, we'll talk. I like talking about supplies. I want to talk about supplies. I want to talk about storage. I want to talk about paper quality. I like talking about, not just about comic books and about the characters we love and the stories and the adventures. I like to talk about, these are publications. These are periodicals. And at last, ooh, look at this. Not trying to look at Carol's butt, no. I'm looking at the maker's mark there. It's Ivan Rice. And then comes the Sinestro Core Special. Look at this art by Ethan Van Sciver. This is a really, really good issue. Now now you've got Countdown going on over here. Now this doesn't really touch on Countdown. That's doing its own thing. It's just every single issue has that on it. And then these are the Zamorons. They are the keepers of the purple energy, and they're in fact the guardians of the they're the guardians of the purple light of the Star Sapphires, and that's great. I love these. Oh, look at Superman Last Sun action figures, designed by Adam Kubert. And we have the backup feature here that's done by Dave Gibbons. That's amazing. I mean, the Dave Gibbons who drew Watchmen. You know, he's just, so it gives it that classic flair. And there's and it's cosmic, and it's, you know, showing you the one by one they're getting together. The Sinestro Core, and then they're gonna come after our heroes, and it starts here. So everything is just leading up to this. Wow, and this is well loved. I mean, we got dings, we've got corners, we've got spine roll, we've got one well loved comic book right here. This was $4.99. Here's Sinestro, and he's imprisoned. And Kyle Rayner and Hal Jordan put that burn on his back during Rebirth. And he's trying to use his willpower and his fear to charge up this ring. And then it starts. And then comes his oath. And now he's got a core. Yep, got Ethan Van Sciver art. No, he's inking his own stuff. Oh, look at that zoom. Look at that. That second zoom, Hunter Zolomon. Zoom versus the JLA. Great page. Look at that. That's superhero art. That's good stuff. Kyle XY. I mean, talk about a title that wouldn't pass muster these days. I mean, gee, these beautiful, beautiful panels. This great art. Ah, here it is. I was talking about this the other day. This is Oa, and this is that's the commissary, and this is This is where Guy Gardner complains about the food. It's really cool. And here, that's a red sun eater. Okay, so it's a red sun, and that's Superboy Prime. At the end of Infinite Crisis, he's captured by he's taken in by the Guardians of the Galaxy and locked up. But he'll be coming back any second now. And over in the antimatter universe, they've been assembling the Sinestro Corps. Look at that panel. Look, full of bad guys, full of horror. Just like, look at that, just grotesque. Another boom. Huge splash page. This is some good stuff. Well, thank you so very much for tuning in. We've been talking about the Sinestro Corps War. And right now, the Green Lanterns do not have lethal force enabled on their rings. And they're getting trashed. Mercilessly dispatched. And they've left a note. Somebody busted out Superboy Prime. And it was Sinestro. And then they're gonna also take the green energy out of Kyle Rayner and make him the new Parallax by putting the yellow fear and purity into Kyle. Which is pretty interesting too. Oh, Turkey's done. So yeah, there's the Kyle Rayner Parallax, which I think is actually really cool design. It's based upon his 90s costume with the visor. People like really weren't too hot on. And then the big reveal. Who do we have on our side? Cyborg Superman, Manhunters, Superboy Prime, and the Anti-Monitor, who's behind everything apparently. And then we have more Tales of the Sinestro Corps, the Sinestro Tale, which is really cool. Yep, and that's that. Ooh, Pan's Labyrinth. And more video game ads. Alrighty, we're gonna board. We're gonna bag. We're gonna box this. We're gonna call it a day. And thank you so much for hanging out with us today, spending your break with us, talking about comic books for just a few minutes in your busy day. Now you can get back to your busy day and be like, oh, I wish I was hanging around talking about comic books all day. But no, you got to get back to your busy day. You got to get back to life. And so do we. We have to run our stuff and not let our stuff run us. And so I hope you have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. If you're new to the channel, be part of the conversation. Make a comment in the comment section. And we premiere every day, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. And actually, I asked Ethan himself over on Twitter. He based this very famous cover. This is very famous. This art sells these books too, in a way. That he based this cover off of a Bronze Age or Silver Age Justice League of America cover. And I saw this cover, and I was like, I hit him up on Twitter. I was like, Ethan, did you the Sinestro Corps Special #1? Did you base it off this JLA cover? He was like, yeah, totally. I'm like, oh, awesome. So I love being able to connect with the cool comics creators that will actually talk to you. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape our sight. Let those who worship evil's might, we will see you in those funny pages tomorrow night. We'll see you again. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you in those funny pages tomorrow. Cheers. Bye-bye.